What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another day here at Just Because. Today, guys, we're going to be going over build specs for the LS-10 swap. So I was going to do this video a little bit earlier. I mentioned it in my last video, but I decided I was just going to wait till we had the S-10 in the garage. Then we can go over some of the things that we need. So guys, we're going to start this off with engine and trans setup that I got here, and let me try to find a good angle. All right, guys, so we're gonna go with the 6.0 LS LQ9 with the LY6 heads. So these LQ9s, they come out of 0206 Escalade or Escalade ESV, 0307 Silverado SS, and or 04 06 Silverado high output. So that would be like a 8 lug 1500 series Silverado of that time. The reason why we're going with the LY6 heads is because they're the best flowing stock truck heads that you can get, and we're trying to build this on a good budget, and we're not trying to go for like any super crazy amount of power, so we're gonna stick to that for now. So we're gonna do, sorry guys, let me see if this helps. That does not help. All right, so we're gonna go with the Trailblazer SS intake manifold, comp 54, 459, 11 cam. I'll link up specs to that once we get to it. These right here are just pretty much head build kits that we're looking into as well. We're gonna go with a 90mm throttle body. So far, I included prices here. So these prices are if I buy everything brand new and everything. We're gonna try to find as many used parts as we can, so we can save some money, because that's ultimately the goal, is to make a good budget build. So again, depending on what we got for engine and mileage on it is depending on if we're gonna do any type of refresh. So I'm thinking at least rod bearings and bolts, just to be safe. Excuse me. We're gonna go with a Holley Terminator, which is where the money comes in, because those are obviously not cheap at all. Just got plugs, plug wires, oil pan kit. So this hooker headers, I am debating whether I'm gonna do this or if I'm gonna just attempt to buy, or well, to build my own headers by buying a welder. So I've welded in the past, like not very much. So probably wouldn't be very pretty. My goal would be to get better, obviously, and try to make it pretty. So we'll see how that goes. Trans, so I'm not sure yet, right? I'm not sure if I want a T5 or a T56. I mean, I want a T56, but you know, they're not very cheap. So we'll see about that. So for the body, these are just things that I've just like kind of pieced together. It's not everything I'm gonna need. So there will be more going on to this, obviously, and we're gonna try to keep the prices up to date, just so everyone gets like a clear idea of exactly how much is being spent on the build. Obviously, we're not including time because I'm using my own time, and I'm not gonna charge myself. But so, throttle cable, radiator. So we might recycle this radiator. We might be able to recycle the throttle cable. It all depends, because obviously we've got you know, small block Chevy in here right now, so some things might be interchangeable. We have an aftermarket radiator with E-fans and everything like that, so maybe this might be good enough, but I'm not sure yet. So once we get closer to that, I'll start looking more into it. One thing we do definitely need is a lowering kit. I haven't decided how low, right? I'm thinking maybe 3.5. not 100% sure yet. You know, 3 up here would probably be, put me pretty low to the ground. But really, I'm just trying to get rid of this wheel gap. Try to give it a little bit more of a mean stance. Meaty stance too, because we're gonna, next thing on the kit is wheels and tires. So these are just the wheels I bought the truck with. Got some semi skinnies in the front. It's kind of a skinny, fatty setup. But not a huge fan of neither the wheels nor the tires. So we're gonna circle back to that at some point. So right now in these older trucks, they're vacuum brakes, which, I mean, I guess back in the 80s was probably a good idea, but not really a good idea. So your brakes will run off of your vacuum pressure, and if you don't have vacuum, then you don't have brakes. So the goal is to get rid of that and go with a, well, hold on. Well, wait just a minute here. Sorry, guys. Are these vacuum? Yeah, they are. Yeah. All right, so yeah, vacuum brakes, no go. So we're gonna do a Hydro Boost brake conversion. There's some things I can look into. Again, these are all, I'm gonna look more into these things without prices on them once I get closer to that point of the build. So there's no sense of, you know, in my opinion, getting everything down to the dollar. You're never gonna, there's gonna be things you're gonna miss, and you're gonna want, you're gonna have to keep adding things up there anyways. So we're gonna hold off on that again, price wise. So this does have an 8.8 rear end, like I said in the last video. But it is a stock 8.8 rear end to my knowledge. It does have, it's a 373 posi lock, which I want to say came out of a some Ford F-150. If I'm correct in the code that I looked at. So it's not going to handle the power that we want. So I might have to do some mild building. Again, I have to look deeper into that once I get a little bit closer to that part. I'm going to start up front and move back in that with that. Couple possibilities I was looking at are the Blazer fuel tank swap. That would require some fabbing, so that depends on what I do here, because I'm okay with fabbing it up and, you know, putting in the work to do that, but I got to make sure if I'm gonna fab anything, I'm starting with the headers. Well, I've got to make up my mind about the headers, and then I'll start fabbing up. Another possibility is maybe wrapping the truck. I have color ideas, but that's something I'll disclose a little bit later on if I end up going with it, going with the wrap, or I might just leave it as it is. It's kind of a matte black. I don't even know, rattle can. I don't even know if it's rattle can. I mean, it's pretty clean, but the paint is, but I haven't decided yet. And then lastly is a Blazer brake setup. Blazer brakes swap. No, I can't use my words. So from what I've read, so far, if you're doing the Blazer brakes, you're swapping out spindles, which should be plug and play. To my knowledge, I'm gonna look deeper into that once I get there as well. But the only thing is that a lot of people use drop spindles on these to lower them. So if you're gonna use the Blazer brakes, you're gonna either need a drop spindle for a Blazer setup, or you can't use a drop spindle at all and you just have to go on Lawrence springs, like the whole coil setup, versus dropping the spindle. You just have to go with a shorter coil. So yeah, so that's something I'm gonna have to look into again once we get closer to that. A couple other things that came up to me just while I was in here last. these seats are pretty terrible. They're not very comfortable at all. They're fixed bucket seats and they're pretty much vertical, like, so our goal with this at the end, and you go ahead and I'm gonna link it somewhere here. Me and my buddy, we're doing builds right now. We're both recording it, putting it on YouTube. And at the end of our builds, we are going to take a road trip in them. So I'm not taking a road trip in a fixed seat, in a fixed bucket seat at that. So that is something that has to be done before we take that trip. I'm okay with the harnesses, and you know, getting in and out is gonna be a pain, but yeah. So his name is TSB Performance. That's his YouTube channel. I'll have it linked here either in the description or somewhere up here in the video. But yeah, another thing, I need a removable hub. So the reason, as you guys maybe saw in one of the last videos, so like the clearance to get in and out of here is ridiculous. Like if you've got legs, you can't get in. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to get in and out. My back just popped just trying it. Passenger side, not that big of a deal because obviously you got no steering wheel. So, and this is the wheel all the way up. Like this is as easy as it'll ever get. Let's see, just while I'm in here, I'm trying to think of a few other things. So obviously this gauge cluster is, well, just not very good, which is fine. You know, it worked, most of it. Most of it worked, but we're just gonna try to do something a little bit cleaner than this. Dash, I spoke about that in the last video. It's a possibility. If I can find like a clean used one at the junkyard, then I'll do it. A couple little things that I gotta do. So can't really maybe see it, but right here, that seal's busted. Doesn't leak, but I also don't want it to leak ever. So especially again, if we're going on a road trip, I gotta fix this too. So it's just a couple like little stupid things. So the tailgate is off. I have the old tailgate and the new tailgate. I have everything I need for the new tailgate except for the handle. So I broke this handle on the old one trying to get it off because I got a little bit impatient at the end and just ended up yanking it off and it broke. So I'm just gonna buy a new one or find one at a junkyard if I could find one that's like clean, you know, rust free or whatever, because these are metal handles. So I mean, honestly, like 10 bucks brand new, so I might just buy it brand new. One thing I didn't cover too in this garage video that we last did is this area. So this is just where I'm gonna store like excess parts. You know, I got my oil pans, trans fluid pan, a couple extra things in here. There's a good amount of room for me to be able to just squeeze in whatever I need to clear up, you know, my walkway and the other side. Before the inaugural teardown, we'll be hanging this up. The inauguration of the teardown, I should say, we'll be hanging this up front. And that's when we'll know. That's when we'll know that it's getting started. So guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I know it's a little bit more explanatory. It's not, you know, fun tearing it down yet, but you know, these are all parts of the build. A lot of people don't capture this part. I think I should, because it's part of it. You know, it's not all fun and games. It's not all, you know, hop in the fast car and get going. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it than I've even described or that I've even written down. There's a lot more to this swap than that. And there will be. And a lot of it I won't even figure out till I hit it. So take that as you may. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next video that we have dropping is going to be the official beginning of the teardown, guys. I know it's been kind of crazy. It's a lot of garage stuff and blah, 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 and boring stuff. Trust me, stuff I didn't want to do. but I had to make sure that I could get this going. And I just wanted to capture every moment of it with you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and smash that subscribe button if you wanna see this build. It's about to get epic, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And remember, if anyone ever asks you why you do what you do, you tell them it's just because. Catch y'all next time.